forest of the mind. You've been sent out on this vision quest to improve your introspection. As part of this quest, you've been tasked with locating Sensei Yuor's best friend, Tin, who is one of the people. Roll an insight check.
That's 12.
You succeed, and you find yourselves finding yourselves trying to find yourself.
I see. I didn't even notice for a little while.
It was brought to my attention recently that this is a phrase of mine that I perhaps overuse. So we're shining a light on it. Welcome to Threshold Sunlight, our D&D 5e podcast. My name is Matt, and I'll be your dungeon master for this adventure.
My name is Tom, and I find myself playing Octavius for this adventure.
My name is Mitch, and I find myself playing Amere Filbert this adventure.
The two of you have just returned from your excursion to the Temple of Temperance and Abundance, recovering a lost artifact for the young woman, Young Z. And you've just returned to the city, made your way back to your barracks. The sun has set. You've enjoyed a long rest, and you awake the next morning. Young Z has departed. Your payment will be forwarded to your location sometime in the future, she's assured you. And the sun shines in through the windows of the barracks, cascading over your eyes and waking you softly. And the two of you, you're free to do anything you like in your room. Are you doing anything before you descend downstairs?
I don't think I'm doing anything particular. I'm probably messing with the game board that I was given by Young Z.
Okay.
Amir would like to be outside of Octavius's door.
Just like sitting there waiting for him?
Yeah.
Okay, swim fan. You do so, and
I opened
Octavius,
the door.
there you go.
Is he fall into the room at this point? Is he leaning on the door?
Nah, he'll just be sitting in front of it, being like, "Oh, Octavius, you're up."
Like
Good,
like a
Amir.
dog waiting for you to get home from work.
Good, you're here, Amir.
Oh, man.
I think we need to replace these clothes. Remember you had the idea to tear them up? Well, we need nice clothes now.
Yes, we do. I do remember that idea.
It was a great idea. But we should go to town, get some nicer clothes, maybe explore, a part of town we haven't been in.
Another great idea. Let's go.
Let's be off.
The two of you descend downstairs into the lobby of the barracks. Waiting there for you, you see one of the king's guard. He stands up as you descend the stairs, slams the butt of his spear on the ground, and says, "The king wishes to see the both of you at once. Please, follow me."
Not really dressed for a regal visit, but okay.
He turns immediately and walks out the door, not listening for your response, and begins marching towards the palace.
We should go see the king, Amir.
In this state? I guess so.
He's a king. We go in any state he wishes us.
You hear a call from outside the door. "Post haste!"
Even in our worst state, we are better than most men. Like this guy.
Yes, I'm sure. You especially.
Yes, me especially. Let's go.
Okay, we go.
The soldier leads you to the palace, into the chambers, where you had the dinner long ago. I guess like weeks ago, maybe days. It hasn't been too long, I guess. And he takes you to that back room where you rode surreptitiously in the culinary cart too, and drops you off, deposits you into the king's private study, and leaves the three of you alone in the room. Upon entering the room, the king stands up, folds his hands softly in front of him. He bows his head in contemplation for a moment before looking up and saying to you, "If High Priest Ra is truly up to no good, he will no doubt become aware of this ruse that the three of us have perpetrated. If this comes to pass, we will deal with the High Priest most severely. I have given much thought to the information that you have given me, and mulling it over in my mind, I have decided to go along, for the time being, with your plan. However, if he has been truthful with us, and this spear is what he says it is, we may be putting those sick people in grave danger. I need not remind you that my son is among those people. Are the two of you certain enough, with the situation you've put us in, to take this risk? I assure you, though we are most grateful for what you have done for us, we will punish whomever is deceiving Kuru." He drops his stare and narrows his eyes, looking at the two of you rather intently.
I am quite certain.
And if Octavius is certain, then it must be true.
Very well. I am impressed by your convictions. It is a trait rarely seen these days. I ask that you will wait 3 days. Relax, enjoy the city. We will observe what the High Priest does. And after giving him a bit of time, we will make our decision then.
Are we to return here after 3 days?
I will summon you, should the situation progress.
Thank you, Grand King.
But of course, thank you, Dwellers of the Hat. I hope that you are guiding us in the right direction.
I always know what direction I'm going.
Yes. He sits back down and gestures with an open hand to the door behind you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you attending to me post-haste.
Always for you, King. We are going to enjoy your marketplace and maybe some of the more arcane parts of your town today.
He peers up over the book he's reading and says to you, "Yes, I suppose you have quite a bit of steel you wish to spend, hmm?" And then goes back to reading his book.
Yes, we'll be leaving.
Yes, let us leave. Amere takes out
Enjoy the marketplace as you
Amere takes out his Rebecca and starts strumming it outside the door as he
Great.
gallops outside the door.
behind
As we-
you as the
as-
door closes. You hear the book slam shut, and the king you hear a flute playing a ditty, similar to the one that you're playing, Amir.
Nice.
Amir, you also hear in your voice, Amir, I am not quite sure that we are doing the right thing.
But you were so sure before.
I did say that. Let's go to the marketplace, Amir.
Okay.
I'm sure we are doing the only direction we can go now. We're just gonna go to the marketplace, and
Great.
I'm gonna try to find, fine clothes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You enter the marketplace and begin strolling through the aisles looking for a clothing store. You enter an area of the market that seems to be devoted to common day-to-day goods, rather than like armors or magical items or whatever. This is more like, clothes and food. It's a ye old grocery store, if you will. Strolling by, you see the patrons of these shops seem to be more actively engaging. the passersby, trying to sell the things that may be easier to come by, less in demand, perhaps. And walking past one shop, you see the man out front saying, "Tunics, trousers, top hats, the dapper camel's got the attire that you desire. You, gentlemen, I see that you might be in need of some apparel. What can I outfit you with?"
Your finest attire fit for basically a king. Not a king, but right under the king.
This bald human male runs a hand across his smoothed head and sort of adjusts the cuffs of his very, very nice-looking clothes with very beautiful, intricate patterns, turns on a heel, goes and opens the door, the wooden door to his shop, the Dapper Camel, and beckons the two of you to enter.
I follow Octavius.
Let's go.
The two of you enter, and you see adorning the walls, there are all manner of mannequins outfitted with different clothings, robes, with all sorts of patterns, exotic. Well, I suppose not exotic to you. You're all native to Syraxis. But deserty robe attires and whatnot. The man who led you in there turns and says, "Hadir Dromati, I'm the guy who can get you what you need." And he heads to the back and returns with a line of rope and begins sort of aggressively measuring you, just sort of like sticking the rope up against different appendages and identifying your measurements, essentially. Do both of you let this happen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell Amere, this is how rich folk are fitted for clothes. I saw it in a book. You just gotta hold your arms out and let him do this.
Amir holds his arms straight out like a T.
Yeah,
Great.
just keep him like that.
What sort of body types do Amir and Octavius have?
Octavius is a thin, spindly man.
Okay.
And if he takes off his shoes, he's probably shorter than he would seem. He's probably got some sort of weird heel thing going on in his boot.
A little Kiss platform boot going on?
He has a fish tank under his shoe.
What about Amir?
Amir's your average guy. He's your average Joe type of guy.
Okay.
He's got shorter hair, I guess, but he's about average in every other area.
Hadir steps back after measuring the two of you and runs his hand again across his bald head and says, yes, I think off the rack for the both of you. Nothing custom unless you so desire. But I think that, and he lifts up the flaps and dirty rags that the two of you are wearing and says, I think perhaps expediency is more important here. Yes?
Correct.
He he walks around the shelves and mannequins around the store, pulling different items of clothing onto his arm, draping them over it, and returns to the two of you with an assortment of items, hands them out to you, and says, I think these should probably be to your liking. I've never sold anyone anything that wasn't.
Well, we do have the money to spend. Is it soft?
If you unravel the robes and tunics and trousers he's provided you, you see that they are just really, really, really well made. They're fantastically well made items of clothing. Definitely nicer than like almost anything that you would have been able to purchase back home. Amere, being from a smaller town, you probably have seen people wearing clothes of this caliber around Nod, the upper aristocratic families, the wealthy people and whatnot. Young Z probably had clothing of this niceness.
These are very nice clothes.
We'll take 2 sets.
Excellent. Let me just... Tunic, trousers. He runs through the items he's provided you. And what about shoes? Will the two of you be needing a nice pair of shoes to go along with your new ensembles?
Do you have any shoes that elevate the wearer?
Yes, what about leather
Yeah.
boots?
He looks at you, Octavius, with a confused look on his face for a moment. And then suddenly a moment of clarity, and he says, "Yes, but of course. Anything that you need, we can outfit you with."
I will take a pair of those.
Great. Let me go and see what we've got. And
He's
as
not
he walks away,
Is he a tailor? Or is he just
you-
selling it?
If you look around, maybe through across the like the counter into the back area, you can see mannequins with clothing on it that are in the process of being adjusted. So, yes, you get the sense that he could make adjustments to clothes if you so wanted. As he's walking to the back to get the shoes for Octavius, he turns over his shoulder and shouts to Amere, "Leather boots, you say?"
Yes. Yes.
I think I might have something in stock for you. What color?
Black.
Shablack?
Shablack.
Shablack, a classic
The
choice.
newest color of black.
He returns with a pair of very nice leather boots that he presents to you, Amere. And for Octavius, he presents you with a pair of, they look like, Toms, almost, like a cloth shoe.
Perfect.
And they've got, like, a whole lot of extra padding on the sole, but since the whole thing is sort of constructed out of this cloth, it doesn't look weird. It looks sort of natural.
Good. We'll
Almost
have all this.
like a concealed platform shoe. Great. He tallies up the items he's provided you, walks back to behind the counter, holds a hand out to the two of you and says, "I believe that will come to 10 steel.
10 steel.
10 steel each, yes."
I'm going to give him a perplonium piece.
My.
I'm sorry.
Quite the aristocrats, are we?
You just do a wonderful job here, and I'd like you to not make change.
I thank you, kind sir. What is it may I call you?
I am Octavius Sabellum, and this is my compatriot, Amere Filbert. We are the dwellers of the hat, heroes of these sands.
He gasps as soon as you say the Dwellers of the Hat. My, the Dwellers of the Hat here in my shop.
Yes, the two and only.
By Adam, I never thought I'd see the day.
Are you an Adam worshipper?
Most of the people in the city are.
Okay,
I
you
myself.
This what we're wearing? Go ahead, take it to your temple, burn it.
All right, I'm not sure the offering would be so well received.
Tell him it's from Octavius Sabellum.
I suppose.
And I give him a weird wink.
I suppose, due to your generosity, as he gestures to the perplonium piece, that would not be a problem. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I don't believe so. And we're gonna
Wonderful.
swag out of there.
All right. Amere, you're not paying for your items?
Whoa.
yeah,
I thought I was paying for
right,
both of
yeah.
us.
You said you didn't want change, but 10 steel equates to 1 perplonium if you pay for both of you.
Oh, can I pay him like 2 perplonium then?
Okay. You
I wanted to
slap
tip
down the
him generously and pay for everything and just look fancy while doing it.
Great, that makes sense. I was operating under the impression that you were paying for yourself and leaving the extra for him. So 2 perplonium, he would behave the same way. So yeah, that'll work out.
Okay, gotta adjust my massive stash of perplonium,
Fantastic.
48.
which I'm carrying just in my bag. Just a big, amazing amount of wealth just at my side.
Jingle, jangle, jangle.
Gee, I hope someone don't rob me of my new clothes.
Make a perception check.
It's a 20.
You actually, through your gathered experiences walking through the streets of Kuru, you've never once seen a person out on the street begging or seedy-looking fellows walking around.
Amir, let's rob someone.
Pickpocketing, perhaps. You've never seen any of this.
So we haven't seen, like, any crime.
Why would we
like,
rob
homelessness.
someone?
Nope.
Never mind. Don't worry about that, Amir. It was just a mental flight
Passing
of fancy. Yes.
Fantastic. You exit the Dapper Camel with your. Did you change in there, or
yeah,
are you
definitely?
Okay. Yeah.
I wanted
Okay,
to hand him the bundle of old tattered clothes and tell him, sort of rudely, to go burn it at his church.
You got the sense that, as you said, that it was probably a little insulting, but he's not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, as you paid him rather handsomely.
That's right.
The two of you emerge from the Dapper Camel, dressed in your fancy new clothes. Do you want to describe what they look like? Because, they're your clothes.
I'm picturing him in sort of a almost beige white fancy set of whatever the most formal, modest, clothes you would wear out normally, not like for a formal occasion.
Okay, so the formal sort of not formal, the nice everyday clothes, they would be like, do you know those long tuxedo coats that don't have lapels? They just like go straight up to your neck and have like a round collar?
Yeah.
Like that, but thinner and more deserty.
Yeah, I've got that on, and it's like it's an off-white.
Yeah.
Is that what mauve is? I don't actually know what color
Mauve is like a purple.
It's not mauve then. Ochre? Is ochre the off-white?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going straight on crossword clues about color right now. Not. Anyway, an eggshell white or whatever, and then my new fancy shoes, which might have that set of embroidery on them or whatever, and I'm strutting. I wanted almost to do like a walking cane thing, but I don't think I'd do that.
Apparently, ochre is like a pale yellow, so it's a little more on the yellow side. So probably more of an eggshell is what you were going for.
Eggshells. I found the word eventually.
And what about you, Amir?
Amir would probably be wearing we're wearing like deserty clothes, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
long robes and flowing.
Yeah, I'm thinking more
covering
like
your skin but being breathy.
I'm thinking more like a dark purple sort of like something like a person riding like on cavalry horse would. Just like a high-ranking lord of someone in the desert.
Oh, man. All right. Fantastic. The two of you strut around the Ipsen open marketplace with your fancy duds and walk by a couple more stores. You walk past one. There is a small gnomish man standing out front with a lute, singing aloud, "Music is a wondrous thing, our tunes sing out and grant elation. Join our song and joy you'll bring, come strike your chord at the good vibration." And as you walk past, hearing this music, you see on his face he's covered in tattoos of musical notes that seem to dance as he plays this tune. Are you wearing your bands of harmony, Amir?
Uh-huh.
Seeing this as you walk past, he'll stop playing his song and say, "Master Bard, please come into my shop. I'm sure that you would be able to find something to add to your repertoire."
Amir says, "Oh, really? Octavius, let's go to this one for a little bit."
If you wish, Amir.
Yes, you, sir. I'm sure that I have something that would be able to. He glances up and down at you for a moment. How does Octavius hold himself when he's just sort of standing around? I don't imagine him to be sort of very graceful necessarily.
No, yeah, he's kind of wiry. Now he's kind of wrinkling his nose because he doesn't like that he's not skilled in music in any way. So he's like, okay, we can go and The strange music shop.
He says to you after looking up and down, I'm sure that we can find something to fit your skill level, perhaps? He reaches out his hand and says, Benton Hatam, please come inside.
Octavius is going to let Amere go first and then kind of go in after.
Amir's going to strut in his new robes.
Okay. The gnome follows you in. You see lining the walls just every instrument that you could possibly imagine. Almost cluttered. Think of like a thrift shop that's only instruments. Wall to wall, just covered with like brass instruments, woodwinds. There's flutes, all sorts of things. Anything really that you can imagine is inside. Are you looking for anything in particular? Or are you letting him sell you on something?
I'm letting him sell me on something here. He said he had something for me.
All right. He heads straight to the back after you sort of stand inside expectantly for him, and he returns to you with a large field drum. He's got a sash thrown over his shoulder, and the sort of like snare drum dangling at his side. You see him with a pair of sticks, and as he walks out from the back room, he plays a little tick-a-tat-tat, short staccato notes on the surface, and says to you, "Now, not many bards have the skill necessary to channel their music through such a refined instrument, but I think you may have the skills necessary, and it is certainly a more unique choice." What is your passive insight, Amere?
Passive insight.
Mm-hmm.
I have a +0 to wisdom, so 10.
Okay. That's what he says.
Yes, it looks like a grand instrument. May I? And Amir motions to attempt to play it.
Yes, of course. And he takes it off and he gets a stepladder and tick, steps up it and throws the sash over your head and hands you the sticks. And then he steps around you and looks at Octavius, strokes his chin for a moment. His long gray beard. He pauses and thinks, and then sort of holds up a finger, raises his eyebrows, and walks over to one of the shelves and returns to you with what looks like a kazoo.
It's really fine, sir. I don't really dabble. I don't need the music.
He shoves it into your mouth.
I got a 28 for performance check.
Wow. As he was walking over towards this kazoo, he sort of falls in step and does like a little shuffle change with his feet. Just excited about the like drumline-esque music playing in his shop. He shoves the kazoo into Octavius's mouth and says, "This, I think, should work for you."
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to blow it, but I'm actually going to take it with my mage hand, and when I go to blow it, I'm going to throw it across the room. I'm going to be like, and it's just going to go flying across the room. I'm like,
okay.
I don't really know how to play it. Is it supposed to do that? Some sort of battle kazoo?
Make a sleight of hand check using your spell casting ability. So be charisma plus your spell casting, or plus your sleight of hand modifier.
My spell casting ability is wisdom.
So what's your bonus to that?
+3, but my sleight of hand I have.
Are you proficient in that?
I have
in sleight of hand?
expertise in sleight of hand.
Okay, so then add your proficiency bonus twice, along with your charisma modifier to the roll.
13.
Okay. That's not super high. Let's see. He looks at you after you've done this and says, yes. Well, I suppose the musical arts are not for everyone.
Yes. Some of us like to do the divine or arcane arts.
He walks away from you, just ignoring you at this point, disdain dripping from his eyes, and returns to Amere, saying,
I'm probably going to go sit on, like, an instrument.
Okay.
If there's, like, a table dulcimer or a hammer dulcimer or whatever. You know, a big instrument that I can sit on.
Clang, 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 clang. The notes ring out as you sit down unceremoniously.
This is a
I'm
odd
picturing
chair.
a timpani.
Benton looks back over to you with a glare, just a piercing dagger
I'm not even
shooting
going
out
to
of
look
his
at him.
eyes.
I'm just going to, like, open a book and be like, Amere, pick out what you like.
He returns to you, Amere, and says, "Is this to your liking, sir?
Yes, it's very nice.
One steel, if you should like it."
Amir pays the steel.
Excellent.
He takes his snare drum.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And if you ever need anything else, good sir, please remember the good vibration.
Yes, it's a good vibration.
Quite a seismic shop you have here. Let's go.
Yes.
Amir follows Octavius out.
Great. You turn out to the streets of the Ipsen open marketplace, wandering around. Is there anything that you're looking for in particular?
Amir would be looking for an armory.
Okay, you know where the armories are. You've been to them at this point. Are you headed back to there?
If Amir wants to go, yeah.
If there's nothing else to do.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's hundreds, if not thousands, of shops in the marketplace. If you wanted to just window shop, you could walk around and look for, all the different shops that you wanted. But if you're looking for something in particular, perhaps you could head right there.
Amir is specifically looking for a shield.
Okay, great.
Right.
Mechanically, I want to remind you that it is an action to equip and unequip. Well, an action to equip and another action to unequip a shield. Just so you know.
Yes.
Okay. So you can't just do it on the fly.
What if we staple it to the drum? With my stapler.
The drum takes a permanent -20 to all performance checks and spells cast using it.
Might
I
be able
could
to
still get a
8.
9.
We
Holy
got this.
shit! Oh, man.
I have expertise in performance.
Do all
Bards get
that?
expertise too?
They get expertise in 2 things.
Crazy.
Knowledge clerics get it too. We're stat heavy people as
You
far
guys
as
are
checks.
the best. We'll see how you do with combat later on.
Nope. No, I'm not good at that one.
You make your way back over towards the more martial area of the marketplace, the Sandy Dagger, the Sure Shot Armory, Nolway General Goods, and of course the Ukurum Armorers, the place that you would almost certainly be able to find a shield.
So wait, the Octavius would remember this, but Tom doesn't. Anybody remember the price of that nice spear?
The one at the Sandy Dagger,
Yeah,
the Nottish steel spear.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 50 per. It was something really expensive.
I thought it was like 100 polonium.
100 per polonium. It might have been.
It was in fact 100 per polonium.
Okay.
Nice.
And we're not. Then he's not gonna go in there.
Okay.
If it was 100 steel, I was gonna go in there and like buy it and not use it. Or something. I don't
Just to
know.
be a dick to the guy.
No, to say like this is a really fine spear.
Okay.
No. Because I wanted him to like me because he's an elf.
Ah, I see. Okay.
But not. I can't use a spear really.
Right.
Just was gonna pretend that I really needed another.
No,
spear.
you can. Aren't you proficient in all simple weapons?
Oh, I am.
Yeah,
Spears
spear's
are
a simple
simple.
weapon. Yeah, spear's a
Oh.
simple weapon.
Oh.
Yeah. So you enter the Ukurum Armorers, Amir?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I definitely have this written down wrong. because there's already another Sala from Sala's Cask, but the name I have written down for this is Salatonk, so we're gonna go with that. I know we've already visited here, and I'm sure they said a different name, but go with it. You walk into the shop, the walls covered in armor and shields and all sorts of survivability accoutrement, and behind the counter you see the young human woman with long red hair and fair skin wearing the same sturdy camel leather apron, banging away ting, ting, ting against a piece of metal on a small anvil. And as you walk in, she ting, ting, and sets down the hammer, noticing you, walks over and says, Amere! So nice to meet you again. So nice to see you again, rather. What is it that I can help you with? Octavius, are you in the room with her?
Yeah.
She peers over around Amere and says, have you returned for that knottish cord breastplate?
Oh, I'm very sorry. We were provided for by our guild, and I have a different breastplate, but we do wish to give you our patronage in a different manner.
She steps forward as you're saying this, and are you wearing the breastplate?
No, I don't think so. I think I left it at home.
She definitely, she kind of like peers around your fine clothes, trying to see if you're wearing it. Looks very frustrated that she can't like assess whether or not it's better than hers.
I see.
What is it that I can help you with today?
I would like a shield that might protect my good buddy from harm, as enemies might try to hurt him.
A protection shield. I think perhaps... And she sort of looks you up and down. What's your strength, Amere?
It is 14.
Okay.
You have a lot of strength.
What's your dex?
12.
All right. She says, looking you up and down, she grasps your arm, like, to feel your muscles a little bit. Do you recoil at all from this?
No. Amere doesn't even really notice. He's sort of just looking around at the shields.
As she does this, she sort of flicks her hair back across her behind her ear and says, My. I think perhaps a tower shield might provide you with the protection you need. And she heads back to one of the racks on the shelf, or on the wall, and pulls down a sturdy-looking tower shield, roughly 3 feet tall, 2 feet wide. 2 feet wide? 4 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Yeah, that's better.
Oh, man.
Big shield.
It's a tower shield.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right.
He's looking to protect someone else, so I think that would probably be what she'd be looking to provide.
Octavius is a little insecure about the fact that he's not very strong. Can I try to hoist the shield at some point?
The Sala returns with the shield. You see as she brings it close to you, it is made of a polished silvery metal, not silver, of course. The border around it has this really intricate braided pattern, and in the center, you see inset into the middle. There's a bright blue sapphire with what appears to be electricity crackling out from the tips of it, inlaid into, relief carved into the metal. And she says, I think this should do for you. And she, boom, slams it down on the ground in front of you.
Interesting. Very, very, very exquisite. How much for this obviously masterfully made tower shield?
She blushes a little bit as you say masterfully made tower shield. 10 steel for this one.
10 steel, you say?
Yes.
That seems underpriced for such an exquisite piece of work. Wow. Can I try to lift it up?
Give me a strength check.
That's a 8.
No, you can't. You do that thing where you like you go to lift it, and as you put all of your force and effort into bringing it off the ground, it's sort of just it doesn't really budge at all. The corner of it comes up and clunk, slams back down after a second of being held aloft.
I'm just checking to see this sapphire. It looks magical of some sort. Like there's some magic. I mean, yeah, lots of magic. That was hard to investigate. The magic.
Amir's going to put down 15 steel guts, and he's going to say, "Thank you very much. I shall look forward to coming here in the future."
Please do. Thank you.
And then he's gonna walk out the door. He's done.
As you turn to leave, she winks at you.
Okay.
Great. You have your fancy shield, which just functions as a +2 AC shield. Nothing
Sweet.
crazy. You could possibly get it enchanted if you wanted, but just a shield.
Sweet.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a +2 shield, and I was like,
+2 AC. That's just
that's
the
a normal shield.
Yep.
But it's fancy looking.
It is. You get the sense that she's really good at her job.
She does seem like it.
Are you doing anything else in the open marketplace, or are you going to perhaps return for lunch, we'll say, at this point?
Yeah.
We'd probably eat at Alton's. I mean, who
Okay.
are we
Yeah,
kidding?
eat at Alton's.
You head to the High Dune Inn?
Yep.
Okay.
And I walk in, and is Alton there?
Yes, he's in there, and as you walk in,
I say,
you
don't,
see him stand and say,
close
"We're
the store. Nope.
No,
We're just here
we're not.
to eat.
We're open. Are you sure?
Yes. Alton, we just want some roasted sand monitor.
All right.
You can stay open. You should stay open.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think we. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What can I get you?
Roasted sand monitor. Or
You
anything,
see,
really.
You see one of the other patrons as you walk in and sit down at the table that he guides you to, says, "Alton, I've been waiting for 20 minutes over here." And Alton sort of just waves his hand at him angrily. Like, shush. Quiet. Turns to the two of you and says, "What can I get for you?"
Can I do a Jedi mind trick on that man?
Suggestion? Or
well,
friend?
I have to do detect thoughts first. I have to bust a daily.
Okay. So that is
He's gonna make a wisdom save. Yeah.
okay. What's your spell save DC?
14.
He passes.
So I just turned to him, and you see me like shoving my hand at him, like I'm trying to squish his head, and then I'm like, "Shit!" And I turn to Amere, and I'm like, "I've never failed at this."
Does he know that you've done this?
I think so.
He's gonna stand up after you've probed into his mind, hearing his surface thoughts. Which, because this is detect thoughts, right?
Yeah, functionally,
So
it's actually called read thoughts because it's my cleric one, but it's the same thing.
Oh, do you get to know the surface thoughts immediately
Yeah.
upon casting it? Okay. And then you probe with they do the saving.
Yeah,
after you probe.
if they fail, then I get to not only probe, I get to pop a suggestion in their head.
Okay.
But I have to win.
After probing his surface thoughts, you hear him think to himself, "Man, fuck these guys. Always coming in here ruining my lunch." And immediately after he feels the probing into his mind as he passes his wisdom saving throw, he stands up and throws his chair to the side and says, "What do you think you're doing?" Accusing at you, Octavius.
I was trying some arcane magic to sate your hunger with delicious food.
Give me a persuasion check. At disadvantage.
That's a 2.
Bullshit! You're in my head trying to mess with things. What the hell?
Amir is going to
correct.
attempt to stand in between them, and he's going to say, "What's going on here?"
The man throws his chair to the side and walks up to you, comes chest to chest with you, Amir, as he's coming at Octavius and says, "Your friend here has got no goddamn manners. Throwing stuff around, using magic, getting in people's heads. That ain't right."
Come on, can't we just all be friends here? And as we enjoy some delightful music, and he's going to take out his Rebecca and start playing.
Give me a performance check first. We'll see how much this helps you.
12 plus 9, 21.
Okay, give me a persuasion check at advantage.
Oh, not gonna get better than a 20. Persuasion is 23.
Okay. The man, fuming, face red with anger, with his finger pointed into your chest, begins tapping his foot lightly as you play the music. He steps back from you. He looks around you straight into Octavius's eyes and says, "This time." And then returns to his table, pulls the chair up and sits down.
I apologize for my indiscretion.
He waves his hand, sort of like, yeah, all right.
Octavius is a little, he's breathing a little hard, like, wow.
Alton approaches the two of you and sort of pulls his head in close and says, do you want me to kick him out? Do you want me to... I'll ask him to... Do you want me to kick him out?
No, just feed him. Just feed him food that he purchased.
What do you guys want first, though?
No, feed... Don't poison him or anything. Just feed him food. Didn't he order something?
Probably. Yeah.
I'm always shocked when I'm talking to Alton.
Give him some of my sand monitor for me.
Yeah.
Sure, if that's
We're
what you
gonna
guys
prank
like.
him. Alton, we're gonna prank him by giving him half our meal.
Yeah. He taps his nose and points to you.
He's gonna have to eat what we order for free. No choice of it.
He heads to the back. You hear him shouting to his assistant, who shortly thereafter brings out the food, sets it down on the other man's table, and he returns to the two of you and says, "So now then, what can I get for you?"
Roasted sand monitor, axe beak, that kind of stuff.
Anything to drink? Some more of the whiskey?
Sal's whiskey?
Do you want to go over there? Everybody get out! No?
No. Shh. Everybody stay. Everybody stay.
Okay.
Your whiskey's fine.
Okay. Are you sure? It's not as good.
It is arguably not as good, but I don't want to close this. I'm here. I like sitting down.
All right. Of course.
We're comfy. Check out our new threads.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
those are fancy. Did you did you get those up at the Dapper Camel?
Yeah. Did you want a set?
No. You wouldn't have to do that for me. That would be far too generous.
Anything for you, Alton. You are our best friend.
Wow. That's so nice of you guys. Do you want to go there right now? Everybody get out. We're closed down. We're going over to the Dapper. We're getting some clothes. Get out.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Yeah, it was bound to happen.
Amir's just going to say like sorry to like all of the patrons as
turn
he
around
goes
and just like watch them all walk out. Like, yeah.
How do you keep this place running, Alton?
Do you have like an inheritance or something?
Wait. And he goes to the back, and you hear murmuring, pots clanging around, and then suddenly through the murmuring you hear Alton shout, "I don't care! I'm leaving! You're in charge. And he returns.
I really
the two
hope
of you.
we don't show up again at some point and Alton's like homeless. Because Kareem like had an ounce of business sense and kicked him out.
Kareem returns with him, shaking his head. Alton comes to the two of you, and the three of you leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take him over to the Dapper Camel and get him
some new breads.
He brings 2 plates of food and a pair of glasses to the two of you and says, I suppose we could go there now. You can eat if you want first. Whatever you'd like. You can take these with you. We don't need them anymore. That's fine. They're yours.
the plates.
Yeah, the plates and the glasses. You can have
We'll
them.
eat here and then we'll run over there.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yes. Function on a weird set of rules. Alton.
No. I got it all figured out. Kareem's gonna run the place. You're that tip. It's gonna save me all kind of money. I can't thank you enough.
I think like half the people left already. When you yelled you were close.
You look around the room and you see that, in fact, everyone is still sitting there.
How often do you yell you're closed?
Once or twice a day, probably.
Okay. Kareem, you got this, man.
He nods knowingly and taps his nose and then shakes his head like, yeah, I know that. Yep.
This is my burden.
You eat your food. You head over to the Dapper Camel. You buy him some nice clothes, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. That'll run you another 10 steel.
Yeah, I can do it. I'll pay out of mine.
Okay. The three of you stand outside the Dapper Camel, dressed in Alton's new duds, looking almost. In my head, I've got the three of you pictured like the Top Gear hosts during their Vietnamese trip, where they all got custom made like silk suits, and like they stand out like sore thumbs because it's so fancy. Anyone who's seen the show, that's what I've got in my head.
I'm definitely doing like a slow-mo montage as we walk out.
Bow, bow, bow. And you walk
And actually,
in slow motion.
Amere is playing that. He's got the drum and, a tower shield. Amere, are you, like, gonna get crushed by your own instrument weight?
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at your carrying capacity here, I think. See what's what. Maybe you're moving at half speed.
Well, I put some of it on Snuffer, I'm sure.
That is true.
He
You
has
have
the
a giant
Alphorn.
elephant.
He's hanging out with the Alphorn. I probably gave the barrel reluctantly back to the king at some point.
Okay.
Since I don't want anyone to know that I was driving it around the town.
Okay. What do you guys do after this? You maybe walk around to the outskirts of the marketplace, going anywhere specific, running by the temple to check on.
Yeah, we should probably check
things?
on what's his face, High Priest Ra, man.
I'm a little nervous about that. Uh-oh. It's a maniacal
I'm sure
DM laugh.
everything's fine, Octavius. What could go wrong?
What's my spell clairvoyance do? Give me a second. Let's see if I don't think clairvoyance is going to help me at all. But we really
Probably
should.
not.
We really should go over to the temple and
Okay.
kind of cartoon-esque Scooby-Doo it.
Dun 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 dun.
Like
Dun 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 dun.
is there any like shrubs to
A shrubbery?
A
Probably
shrubbery to
not. You could hide probably behind buildings. It's an urban environment, not anywhere there's maybe cacti out in front in people's yards, perhaps. Probably not.
Alton, what do you know of the Temple of Adam?
He looks at you quizzically, a little bit perhaps confused by that question, and says, "Well, you see that Adam is a god. He's the god of fire. The temples, you go there to
Do you go there?
worship him. Let's see if he goes there. Yes, he does. I go there occasionally, offering up small sacrifices of food that I've produced. I feel that it helps me maintain my business and my culinary skill.
We wanted to go by there today.
Oh, did you want to make a sacrifice? We can head back to my inn and retrieve some things that we can perhaps throw in. Is that something you'd like?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay.
Let's do that.
The three of you head back to the High Dune Inn, and he actually pulls out a cask of the High Dune Reserve, the whiskey that he serves you. And he says, I think this would be a good sacrifice for the three of us. He looks rather pleased with himself for this idea.
Sounds great. Do I need to make an insight check if this is really stupid?
Throwing alcohol into fire?
Yeah, it sounds like a bad idea to me. But
the alcohol and fire, or the idea of going into the temple?
No, the alcohol and fire.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll an insight check. You've done magic things with fire before.
It's a 20.
Yeah, you would know that this would probably cause a flare up and might be potentially explosive.
Alton, I've had your whiskey. It's a little potent. Might be flammable. That is to say, it might explode.
He looks so proud of himself.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Octavius gets that weird look at his eyes as he remembers the quattle.
Yeah, okay.
And he's like, let's do it.
The three of you then make your way over to the Temple of Adam.
Can we swing by the guild hall?
Sure. What are you doing there?
Octavius is gonna get geared up. Like,
okay.
He's gonna
Amere?
try to impress what's his name? Alton. He's gonna put on his breastplate and then just get his mace.
Okay.
Okay. You got all
His
your
bow.
gear.
Yeah, then Amere will also get dressed up.
Gets his long sword and his Kai spear.
Yeah, he'll put on his long sword right now, and he'll take out his great shield.
Just so you know, the Kai spear, you can only use the bonus attack if you're wielding it two-handed. Okay.
You got a lot of things. Amir's got two-handed instruments, two-handed.
Yeah, I'm picturing him like Sam at this point, with all of the stuff jingling in the back of him.
Instead of pots, it's like musical instruments. Great.
Amere has pot on him?
Yeah, lots of pot.
Got that
Amere,
that sweet Kurin Kush.
We're in a crime-free environment. Crotch the weed. As they say.
The Legion of Song rides past on a pair of camels and looks at you with a squinting in their eyes. The three of you make it over to the Temple of Adam. And as you walk up, are you doing so stealthily or are you just walking?
No,
Amir's
we're letting
not
Alton
stealthily.
lead.
As you walk up, the three of you, Alton is sort of pushed to the side by High Priest Ra, who stands there in front of you with a group of people, a man, a woman, and a younger child, roughly maybe 10 or 15 years old.
Shade and happiness to you, High Priest. We've come to make an offering.
You see that... you probably infer that this is a family of people, and you see that they are all crying profusely.
Can Amere figure out why?
Bawling their eyes out. That won't be necessary, because as you walk up, they step to you. The man, the human man, they're all humans, says to you, Why have you failed us? We thought you were here to help. You didn't. He's dead. My son is dead. And they begin just crying profusely, like clamoring at you in grief. High Priest Ra, behind them, says, "Yes, it would seem that perhaps you were unsuccessful in retrieving the artifact. Perhaps you might wish to try again? I am certain the information I've provided you should result in a successful curing of these people. You see, the spear you provided me, I gave to this family. I wanted them to have the honor of reviving their youngest son. As one, they took the spear and pierced it through the heart of their youngest. And they watched in horror as briefly he was returned to existence before bleeding to death in front of them. Why is it that you've chosen to fail the people of Kuru?" He then, after a beat, turns and walks back to the temple and steps up on a small platform and shouts, "Kurians! We have been deceived by these dwellers of the Hat, these so-called heroes. They have come to us in our hour of need and utterly failed us. They have not brought forth our true divine cure, and yet greedily spend our money given as payment for their failures. I know not why they have chosen to let us down. Perhaps the task for which they were hired was too difficult. Or perhaps they've chosen to keep whatever spoils they've found for themselves. Were it not for their lies and failings, your friends and your family would be returned to you safe and sound, healed of this horrible disease. How many people must die before these deceivers are dealt with? I say we bring forth these frauds, these hacks. Take them to the king for a just punishment." He riles up the crowd around him, the people becoming very angry, and the family in front of you just bawling, crying their eyes out, looking desperately at you. And I need... Who's standing perhaps in front? Are you standing side by side?
Well, I was going to ham it up and be like, "I have failed," and go to my knees and like start punching the ground.
Give me a dex save at disadvantage.
Okay.
Amir is going to look very confused.
4.
With a 4, you fail, and a rock comes flying out of nowhere from the crowd and strikes you in the head, dealing you 2 damage. Amir, give me a dex save.
That's a 16.
You manage to jump out of the way as another rock comes flying out at you. Both of you give me more dex saves if you're going to stick around.
They won't just drag us to the king?
Amir would like to put his shield up and try to defend Octavius.
Okay, you do so. You hear clang, 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 clang as rocks begin pelting you from all around. The angry crowd of people begins descending on you, shouting. They've formed into a mob at this point, and you're basically at the center of a semicircle of angry-looking Kurians who are approaching you, setting in with their hands held out to try and restrain you.
I'm going to message Amir and say, "Follow my lead." And then, with thaumaturgy, be like, "Alas, we have failed you, Kurians. Please take us to the king."
Yeah, take him to the king. Get on, yeah. The angry mob grabs you. They cinch your hands behind your backs with rope. And they lead you off towards the palace. the High Priest Ra leading them in that direction. And that's going to end this episode. Next time when we join back, we'll see how you get yourselves out of this pickle.
It's a pickle
What a
indeed.
pickle.
Questions or comments?
Amir was almost about to thunderwave the entire crowd.
Yeah. I'm looking at it. I'm like, is this the time where we just kill innocent people?
That might have sealed your fate. Had you done that.
Because I have a lot of AoE, and I'm like, how many farmers can take him down?
Oh man.
There's always that weird desire just to fireball a group of people.
Yeah, I
Now,
could
you
have
can't-
hit so
you can't quick
many
load
of
and
them.
quick save though. It's not like
Exactly.
Skyrim.
Just kidding. Let's go back.
Psych.
No, that was good. Is Alton mechanically? Is he being dragged with us?
No, he's
kind of
out
faded into the crowd.
Yeah, he sort of did that thing where like he turned his back and like melded into the crowd. You could see if you looked at him a look of quiet desperation and apology.
I would have given him a
and
message and
resignation
say like,
on his face.
"Go, Alton. Go to your inn."
He would look back and forth at you, like with some reticence, and then run off towards his inn.
Yeah, we're ready to be dragged over to the kings. I have no plan. So
If
We're
you
at
enjoyed this episode, please make sure you check out the D6 Mafia. Go to d6mafia.com or youtube.com/the D6 Mafia and check out the original Threshold series that established this universe. Make sure you check back next week for the exciting conclusion of this story arc. And yeah, it should be really good. I'm excited.
yeah, and Steven, who was on our last couple episodes, he runs their games over there.
He's the
He's
best.
the best.
Yeah, he's cool. I like talking to him.
He's not as cool as Octavius.
He's not the Octavius is the best, but Steven's
That's-
close.
that's
to
what
him.
Yeah,
I- that's what I
Octavius is the best. And everyone who thinks otherwise is wrong, obviously.
Of course. And you know what Octavius's favorite podcast is? Threshold Sunlight from Studio LT3.
Okay, that might be a little bit of bias or nepotism, perhaps.
Yeah, because it brought him into existence, but that's not the point. We're available on iTunes and Stitcher. If you listen to us on iTunes, give us a review.
Please.
We are on Twitter. We're pretty active on Twitter, and we have our own subreddit for all the Threshold games and all that stuff. So that's r/D&D Threshold. And then you can always check us out on Facebook or even email us at contact@studiolt3.com. That's our website. So if you ever want to see what's going on with us, studiolt3.com.
That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all very much for listening. We will see you next week.
Bye-bye.